Welcome back, viewers, YouTubers, and friends alike. My name's Mango Smoothie Man, and today we are playing more Doki Doki Literature Club. Yes, this is day 2. So on day 1, we met everybody, so if you guys wanted to skip that, or, you're like, I've seen it on every other Let's Play, that's cool. But what I decided to do was choose words that I liked and not go with any of the girls, because apparently Monica was not an option, and I'm like, dang. I kind of wanted to try to, get to know Monica a little bit more, since she smiles so sweetly and warmly. So yeah, we're doing that. I'm excited. Aha! Episode 2. So, yeah. Now, if you guys happen to like this video anytime, you know exactly what to do by now. In the description, I have a Redbubble account link, which is where you can get my Mango swag if you guys like to help support the channel that way. I have my Twitter link if you'd like to follow me and get notifications as soon as my videos go up. And then I have my Patreon account if you guys would like to help, support the channel by pledging on Patreon. One thing I am adding up there tonight, Chelsea's finishing up the wording, is access to my Xbox hosted, or Microsoft Xbox hosted Arc server, which I'm excited for. It is a Patreon server, so there actually are some people who already help on the channel that are there. Like I said, they do a lot on the channel. They help out with a lot of the little bits here and there, and help cover some of the bases that I can't reach. So sometimes, they're actually going to be on there, and they're fairly active. So yeah, head on over there, and I'll meet you guys there. So without further ado, let's continue with Doki Doki Literature Club. Day 2. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Mango. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Oh, believe it or not, okay, so knowing as much as I do know about Yuri, she's almost exactly like a good friend of mine, whom I haven't talked to in ages. Holy smokes, it is really weird. Like even down to the type of books and everything. It's just really cool. I'm like, crap, I actually know somebody like this. I know several people like this, and they're doing really good though. No weird horror game shenanigans, so I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into a literature club you're not accustomed to. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year too. I don't know if you ever plan or just come out here to hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Ha 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 ha! Oh, also, I know I'm going to be reading some of these wrong. I don't know what it is. When I read, I just kind of autocorrect things when I go to actually read it. So I'm kind of reading it to the best of my reaction. If it sounds weird, I'll just kind of fumble it back. My apologies if it is distracting and annoying to some of you guys. But I am trying, so yeah, reading is really, if I'm not reading from a script where I've prepared it several times, I tend to read them differently. What was all the M's for? Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Haha, that's why. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Mango always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work, even without asking, like cooking and cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. That's so... You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Mango become good friends too. Sayori. I say nothing. Now, as usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri brought you something today, you know? What? Sayori? Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you will be a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make a big deal of it if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't read it fully. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'd like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Whew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing from what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she's waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki's rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah, crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me, and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in the book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious how you come to 2 copies of the same book. Ah. Well, I stopped at the bookstore yesterday. That's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it too soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about anyways? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There is an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright, I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about a girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. As soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. And no matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came out of nowhere. Okay, hold on. She said relatable. What? Yuri, what kind of weird stuff do you got behind those oddly large anime eyes? Yuri genuinely giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of those sort of things, Mango? No, it's not that. I mean, I could definitely enjoy those kind of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. No, I'm just worried that you mentioned about it's a relatable story, so you'll get engaged. How is that relatable? I mean, the first half. I can see the first half, you know, moves in, life starts falling apart, just kind of messing things up with people, but human experiment, prison, escape, it... Why do I feel like that's going to be the premise of the next game? Maybe. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri's into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seemed to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals and their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the native one for letting one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. Hey, I like watching Let's Plays that tell stories, so listening to you talk about it sounds pretty freaking cool. I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writings fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I don't really think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago, you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. All right. Is it fine if I sit right here? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem to be a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in the company of someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. All right. I open the book and start the prologue. As soon as I understand what Yuri means about reading in company, as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not particularly a bad thing, maybe a little distracting, but I feel... the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I really didn't mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slid my desk. I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold the book more between the two of them. Okay. Ah ha 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 ha. Well, I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess this makes it kind of difficult to turn the pages. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. Ah, I do the same with my right arm and the right side of the book. That way I turn pages and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It actually kind of distracting me. As if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Aha, sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glanced over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'm able to keep up with her. Ah, that's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a little bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she's finished the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses a lot of the things she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but you're kind of reminiscent of some of, or it's kind of they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Okay. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Mango, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait, I didn't mean anything bad by it, or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I'm more meant it was kind of cute. Ah. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone! I think it's about time to share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Ah, Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thoughts. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright, I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer if I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little bit more tonight. Then that'll be more fun reading with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters on your own time. All right. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book and slip it back into my bag. By the way, do you remember or did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone is ready, why don't you find someone to share it with you? Or to share it with in general. Ugh. I can't wait! Sierra and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sierra is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers on a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Ooh. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly complies while reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Oh, I get to choose! Well, let me adjust my... Awesome. Okay, so, who should I choose? I want to start with Monica, because I like Monica. I just realized something. I should start with Monica. Yesterday she seemed eager to read my poem, and I wanted her to know I'm putting in effort. Hi, Mango. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new to everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just being with the flow until I'm more settled in, I should say. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Mango. You're all a little embarrassed today, you know? Oh, we're all a little embarrassed today, I guess. But it's sort of a barrier that we all have to learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Mango. I was going, oh, in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for this something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some... Oh man, that is a terrible thing to say. Put in some effort. Wow, don't say that, dude. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writings, right? Writing that's full of imaginary or imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness, Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of the nuances. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked, though. I'm sure it's nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. Oh my. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. It's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write in a way anyone else wants you to write. Yeah, that's right. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to be very good. Or not very good. Well, that's because I have I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Okay. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction. The sparkle protrudes. Ooh. A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel blind like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas! Already scorching with the permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright, but it was too deep. Wow, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in, but I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. So, what do you think? Interesting. Did this happen? Well, very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. That's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on timing between words and lines. When performing out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. Why an epiphany? There's something you're not telling me, isn't there? I'm gonna keep an eye on you. I'm gonna get close to you and find out what's wrong with you. Why I can't be friends with you or make a poem directly for you, too. Or sit next to you in the opening sequence. Why? It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone's better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try too hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. Another way of thinking about this, if you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for the day. Thanks for listening. Alrighty-tighty then. Let's go with Natsuki next. Okay, silence, silence, silence. Mango, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. What? Harsh. What do you expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put effort in. Well, we all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Exclamation points! Painful to think about? Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I'd tell you what to improve on, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. Wait, what? So Small and simple. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Interesting. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly! I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simply writing is that it puts more weight on wordplay. Like, I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what I mean. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Don't expect that from the youngest one here, didn't you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Alright. Next. Let's do Sayori. We'll do Yuri last. This is a good poem, Mango. Are you sure it's your very first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. But that's why why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy just that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Of course. I'm not really into it yet, but it doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See, it's like I said before, Mango. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only a really good person would do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motivation here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much it means to her and all. Yeah, and I'm gonna make sure that you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that one then. Yay! Now you'll need to read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. Yeah, well, see about that. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I would sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Bravo. That was a good one. I actually really like that one. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No, just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was, a bad poem. It came out nice. Or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school? It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time, I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I'll be looking forward to it. Yay. Time to show Yuri. Dot. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, then ends up covering her whole face. She's going to he's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates that you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time. Really? Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her fingers along the words of the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there's are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most notable thing that I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their styles very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick writing styles separate from the topic matter that they form fit the two together. The end result is both styles and expressions are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques to go into writing a poem, even simple poems. I read that one wrong. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that for everyone in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit braised though. Oh goodness, braised. I said braised. Biased? Biased how? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamy. Really, Nick? Yuri smiles dreamily as if there's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Oh, crap. Okay. Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate, breathe the amber glows. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining street light to love withstand the test. Oh, dang it. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickens. I flicken back. Or I flicker, the light flickers. I flicker back. That was really good, I like it. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Maybe I'm just not the world's greatest at reading, you know, cursive. Ah, well, I just don't read scripts very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Eh? That's a relief. I also like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. To be honest, or I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? What is... Who? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Mango. Really? No, it's about the light. I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it, after all. But remember that poems often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn way of putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Huh? It's not really. Yours was impressive too, so nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? No, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Mango. Me too. Phew! I guess that's everyone. Hold on, I'm going to save. Wow, I can have a lot of save slots. Holy balls. Guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. It's a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is just a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. Oh. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri's smiles sadly. What's with this language? Eh? Did you say anything? No, it's nothing. It's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you can say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is Cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about feelings of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Mango did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect to change anytime soon. Unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't. And Mango liked my poem too, you know? He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh! I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what I meant. You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Mango appreciates my advice more than he appreciates yours. How do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Mango started showing up. Natsuki. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they noticed I was standing there. Mango? She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meanings should jump out to the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Mango. Wait, there's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meanings the most effective way. Avoiding them is only unnecessarily limiting yourself. It's also a waste. You'd understand that, right, Mango? Well... how did I get dragged into this in the first place? Oh, all I did was write a poem. I didn't even do anything. I just read them and said nice things. It's not like I know anything about writing, but whatever I agree, or whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So of course it's going to be... I don't know. I think I'm going to pick one. This is one of the things I've noticed. I saw Jack did a thing. Natsuki, you're right that I liked your poem. See? Wait. That's not an excuse for you to be so mean. You shouldn't pick fights just because someone's opinion is different. That's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand. Yuri. You're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed. Well, but here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it and it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice that. I'm sorry. But Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, but if you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did. It was her that... Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said some things that you didn't mean. Yuri apologized. Don't you think you should too? Natsuki clenches her fists. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She's trapped. At this point, being... Oh my. Oh my. That does not sound good at all for her. She's trapped at this point being... Because she... Wow. Well, she's trapped at this point being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I ended up feeling bad for her. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps me to walk to clear my head. You know, I just walk around a little bit. Sayori, she doesn't need to. You know what? I'm going to do that. It'll spare me from having to look at all your faces right now. Without warning, Natsuki snatches her own poem from the desk and storms out. On her way out, she crumples up the poem in her hands and throws it in the trash. Natsuki! She really didn't need to do that. I look across the room. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at the desk. I gingerly approach her and sit in the adjacent chair. Everything all right? I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now. No, Yuri. How could anyone have not gotten frustrated after being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well, alright, I believe you. Thanks, Mango. You're too kind. I'm thankful to have you as part of this club now. It's nothing. One more thing. That one thing Natsuki said about, you know, I would never do anything so shameful. So, what did Natsuki say? Well, never mind that. I'm gonna go make some tea. Good idea. Make enough for more than one person, okay? Yeah. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Bango, what about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was pretty neat. It was a pretty neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do something tomorrow. Or the same thing tomorrow, my apologies. And maybe you'll learn something from your friends, too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Mango, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, about what happened earlier. What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? Oh, no. It's just really, that's actually really the first time that I've seen them fighting like that. I promise, they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they make good friends, you know, I can see why they'd make good friends with you. Whew. You know, Mango, it's really nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too. That's... Every day is going to be so much fun. It looks like Sayori hasn't caught onto this kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? Ooh. Well, we'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay, yeah, let's do this. Oh, yes! I'm going to save it here, guys. I'm going to call that episode here. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Oh, blast as always, and I can't wait to see the new stuff and what's next. Maybe I might stick with Leary. Maybe. As always, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Mango out! Bye!